Hey guys, James here today and welcome back to another Sims 4 building video. Today we are doing a renovation of this thing, this monstrosity. You might not even know what this is, but I think you can all tell by looking at it, it is something awful and something that, look, at the end of the day, I mean, sure, you know, someone made it, there's a heart and soul behind it, but you know, we can still fix that. We can make it better. No, but so this is a house that was built on the Sims official live stream. It's a Guru Garage live stream where basically a few of the producers and people that work on the team, members of the team, Sim Gurus and all that, they will just play the game and have fun. Basically, it's just them having fun, having a silly time. They play for 2 hours every, I don't know, few weeks. I don't know how often they are. But they built this last time. This was actually built by SimGuruRomeo. Which, if you don't know, he's the mastermind behind the mansions in the Pinnacles. I don't know if he built all of them, but he was definitely the mastermind behind the mansions that don't have toilets and missing banisters on the stairs. So yeah, that's SimGuruRomeo. And then, so basically, what happened? They jumped in the game. They're having a good time, having a bit of fun. And then, you know, because it's a bit of a joke at the moment to be like, SimGuruRomeo, his builds don't have toilets. So he built this because it's just a bit of fun, a little bit silly. But basically, I was disgusted by it. So I was like, you know what, I think I can change this, make it look a little bit nicer at least, you know, do my best and improve it. Though, basically what I did, I left the interior more or less the same. I changed a little bit of it because I had to adjust the floor plan a little bit just to fit a few of the new things, like the skylights and that, just so it would sort of line up with everything. But I pretty much left the interior the same. The interior is something else. But, you know, I didn't want to change their complete thing. I didn't want to ruin what they were doing. You know, they had fun with it. They enjoyed the build. So, you know, you can keep the interior. But at least, you know, I at least want people walking by the lot, you know, from the street to see it and be like, oh, yeah, that's a house. You know, that's just a house. Whereas you can, you know, keep your creative expression, you know, on the inside. And that's what I did. By the way, I spent ages doing this damn roof because I was trying to get it to line up. A lot of little tips and tricks from the roofing tutorial that I did recently I am using in this. You know what? When I did that roof tutorial, it actually reminded me of a bunch of stuff that I can actually do with the roofs. So it actually came in handy while doing this. Now, doing the exterior, I didn't want it to just be a normal looking house because obviously this house is really fun, really kind of all over the place. Like, it's got that kind of character to it. So I wanted the outside to be like that too. So I built this almost lighthouse-esque part of the house that sort of sticks up the top, and it has like a balcony out the top here as well, because I thought it was a lot of fun. It's also built in Brindleton Bay, so it's like sort of the more coastal area, sort of almost New England kind of vibe. At least that's kind of what it is, right? Brindleton Bay, kind of that kind of, I don't know, is it? Anyway, that's what I feel it is. So that sort of lighthousey vibe, sort of mariner style build. It's kind of what I did on the exterior anyway. And here's the other thing. They had all these, well, you can see it, all these hills and like pits with the terrain. Also, I don't know why my voice is going like this, but anyway, they had all these hills and pits, and I was like, you know, like I was really trying to sort of respect the build for what it was, other than obviously me changing the exterior. That's basically where all of the renovations take place, is the exterior of the house. I wanted to make it look different, but I tried to keep the landscape more or less the same. I tried to keep the interior more or less the same, and I worked with it. And then obviously I did do a lot of landscaping in terms of placing plants. I built some sort of cool retaining walls, and I did an outdoor decking area, a few of those things to make the landscape look a little nicer and sort of blend in a bit more. And I think it really works in the end. And I think it sort of all ties it together. It's still a fun lot. It's still pretty silly, but the outside looks, I mean, more or less like it could be a sensible house, and that's kind of what I was going for. So at the front here, like at this point, I was kind of not really sure exactly the style I was going for, because I wanted it to be wacky still. I wanted it to be fun. So I was trying to play around here. That's why you can see me changing between styles. I was like, am I doing a modern thing? I was like, no, I just spent half an hour on the roof, so it's not going to be modern because I'd have to change the style of the roof. And then I was looking at, because obviously because the interior is so colorful, I was like potentially looking at ways of making the outside colorful. And then I realized if I was going to do that, I probably should have started off building the exterior in a different style. Like if I had done it, I could even made it look like maybe townhouses or something like that, and it's do like really colorful like set of row houses. Obviously it'd be one house on the interior, but the exterior would have that sort of facade. So there's that potential. Well, there's a few other styles that would look really good with bright colors, but by the time I was like, oh no, that's not going to work, I decided instead to just make the architecture a little bit weird, a little bit interesting. Up the top, so I added this sort of attic space, basically the access to get up to the, I guess, the tower, the lighthousey tower thing. I don't know. That probably has a term. I don't know what it's called. A tower. Yeah, I added this attic space, which I left empty. I was like, I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't know if they're going to use this build. They don't have to, but I just did this. They didn't ask me to do it. I just decided to do it because I couldn't stand looking at it. But here's the thing. If you're watching this when this video is released in... What time do I release this? I release it at 5.5 hours time from the moment this video is released. They will be doing another Guru Garage stream. So you can jump in the chat. This is on the Sims official Twitch. So it's twitch.tv/The Sims. You can jump in there and be like, hey, I heard this cool guy called James Center YT or the Sims player. He fixed the house. And then you can be like, hey, you should use it. You should check it out if they're not already. You know, maybe just casually suggest it. Just drop it in here or there, you know. But you know, I like I said, I didn't want to like ruin the interior. And I say ruin because obviously they're doing a let's play, so they've built the house with the intent and for the usability and the wackiness of it. So I wanted to keep that aspect the same. So once they go inside, it's the same. You know, it's familiar. That hasn't changed. And they can do whatever they want with that. And that's also why I left that sort of attic space empty as well. I don't know if they want to put something up there, if they even want to use it or whatever. So I kind of left it as a bit of a blank canvas. I also add in something kind of interesting later on, which we'll see as we get further into this. So this is just where I added something else to the front of the house because I felt like that sort of area there, the roof kind of looked a bit blank. So I was like, you know what, let's just add another balcony up there for a bit of fun. I got to say, this was fun to build though, because it's obviously something that's a little weird, a little silly. Also, doing windows around that octagonal roof area is really annoying because I realized the sizing of everything, because the walls are quite tall. There's not a huge amount of window choices that I could do that would fit the area and look nice, and because the walls are so big, I couldn't use, like, some of the windows just look really thin and it seems strange to have it on such a big wall. So I actually ended up doing some of these shuttered windows and then one that didn't have shutters because there's literally nothing else I could put on that wall that would sort of fit that theme. So hopefully that doesn't annoy you too much. Also, the eaves of the octagonal roof don't line up with the eaves of the other roof. So I actually ended up having to, like, I couldn't do any eaves because it just didn't line up no matter what I did, which was strange. Like, you can see there, that diagonal roof that joins it. They work when there's no eaves. So anyway, whatever. So this is where I've done another little retaining wall because there was this steep hill in the front. I tried to just the thing is, it's really hard to put plants and rocks on hills in the Sims 4 at the moment because they will just float out over the edge. Like, there's nothing supporting the rock or supporting the plant. So that's why I really hope they add in the ability with Move Objects to, like, sink an item into the ground. Because obviously we can make an item float at the moment with Move Objects, but we can't make it sink down. And we really, really need that with the terrain tools because before we had the terrain manipulation, we didn't really need to sink stuff down because, I mean, it would be nice in that sense, but we didn't really need it. But now that we've got all of these hills and slopes and all that, trying to put an item on uneven terrain is really difficult because it just hangs off the edge. So, you know, Sims team, please, would really appreciate it. Thanks. So this is where I was adding something a bit fun because obviously, like I said before, this lot is all about having fun, just being silly with the Sims, embracing what the Sims is as a game. It's just something to have fun in, you know? So I went ahead and did that. I built basically a little bunker entrance here, which I'm trying to cover up. So the thing is, you can't build walls that go into a hillside because the hills are always just flattened down, but you can build roofs, as you can see, that blend in. Obviously, they can only blend in a certain amount because I need to get flooring and stairs inside of that as well. The flooring and the stairs cannot blend in with the terrain, so I have to have the roof stick out a little bit, then it can blend in further on. So that's why it sort of sticks out a bit, and I've just covered up with a bunch of foliage and all that. So it's a little bit more hidden because I wanted it to be a bit fun. So if you haven't been watching the Guru Garage live streams, in the last one they took the family to a bank and robbed a bank vault. Actually, multiple bank vaults. So I think they have a few million simoleons at the moment. They robbed a few bank vaults and all that. So then I decided, we should build a bunker out the back that's essentially just a huge vault underneath the house. So that's what I did. We built that a little bit later. Like, that was the entrance. That's where that's going. So I was having a bit of fun with that. Now, I couldn't get these stairs, as you might have seen that, I couldn't get the stairs to go across without them popping up to match the sort of foundation height, which is kind of annoying. So that's why I put some hedges sort of between the stairs and that so they didn't pop up. And then there's this pit there on the side of the house, which I have a little bit of fun with in a second. I have a lot of fun sort of landscaping this because I put all the time and effort into the exterior of this build. That's why we're sort of spending a lot of time just landscaping and doing interesting features, something a little bit different. That's why we got that sort of vault entrance. We're going to have an interesting decking area that has the movie hangout like lantern tree, which I rarely use, but I actually really love that sort of lantern tree from movie hangout stuff. But I just don't really use it because there's not a lot of times that I can use it in a build that makes sense. Also, I decided to put it in the wishing well because that's always a fun item to just get the bad results. I love it. I love it for that. So I thought I'd put it out there. I thought it suited. And that's sort of alongside this. One thing that's kind of annoying, and I hope they update it. Like, I get the idea of the terrain auto painting like cliffs with like, I don't know, dirt or rock, depending which world you're in. I get that, but we really need to be able to change the auto terrain paint on cliffs. At the moment, you can't. And the problem with that is I don't know if you saw before, but when I built that retaining wall, even though the wall completely covers the terrain where it's like doing the slope, the auto-painted unchangeable cliff texture bleeds out further beyond that one tile. And then I had to cover it up with like plants and that, which is kind of annoying. So while we're at it, wish list of updates for terrain tools. We need to, be able to change the cliff texture. I don't know why you can't. It seems strange. Need to be able to change that. Like, it's fine if it does it by default, but as long as I can paint over it with something else, that'd be fine. I'd be happy with that. And then what was the other thing I was talking about? Oh, the ability to make items go into sink them down below it. So just those two things, I think would make a big difference to the tools and make them even more usable and even more user-friendly. Because I think that's the thing as well. Like, we were talking about it if you saw my video on what we want in Sims 4 in 2019, which is just the other day. Because I asked you, in that video, I asked you guys what you wanted to see. And we spoke about how the worlds are not really designed for the terrain tools and they're sort of mostly flat and all that. And the problem, even though we have the terrain manipulation, it is really cool and you can do a lot of stuff with it already. The game's almost making you not use it because all the worlds are flat. And then even if you do use it, you can't really place anything on the hills or the cliffs, not even foliage or plants or rocks because they all float off sticking out the edge. So the game's almost discouraging you from using the terrain tools because there's not much you can, other than creating gentle flowing hills, which do look nice and you can actually incorporate them really well. You still end up with this unrealistic looking hill because you can't put plants on it. You can't put rocks on it. You can't not even sink an object into it or anything. So those sort of updates to the terrain tools, being able to recolor the cliffs, sink items into it, would make a world of difference and make the tool so much, immensely more usable. So that'd be great. Thanks, guys. So down here, because there was a pit, and like I said, I was trying to respect the original terraforming of the lot, I decided to do a beautiful sludge pit a la Dr. Gluon and I's bread shop Let's Play style. It's got some green sludge spewing out of a pipe into this green sludge fountain. Just down the bottom there. I don't know. It was like a weird, really weird steep pit. So I was like, it seems kind of fun just to do that. And then it's got all these dead plants in there, brown plants and all that. So I was having fun with that. It's don't go down there. Don't go into the pit. Kids stay out of the pit. It's not safe. Just stay out of there. And you can see there at the top of that little retaining wall here on this one, you see what I was talking about, how that sort of cliff texture, the dirt texture bleeds above the retaining wall, even though I don't want it there quite clearly. So this little deck as well, I thought this was really cool. I thought it was a really nice idea having this sort of tree hanging out over it, and then we can have a little barbecue up there, a little table and all that, and that's exactly what I do. That's all in there. And also, speaking of, because I'm renovating this and I left the interior the same, I'd love to see if you guys also download this from me and then renovate the interior, make it into I guess, whatever you want it to be. It'd be interesting to see. But I think if you do download this and renovate it, it'd be fun to see it and still the sort of wacky styling that it is. Obviously, like a nicer wacky styling than the interior currently is, but just silly, having fun with it. The Sims is a game, The Sims is not a game of recreating boring day-to-day life. I mean, you can, but I feel like at the end of the day, it's a game, so we should be silly and have fun with it sometimes. And that's what this slot is. So if you download this and then renovate the interior, make it silly, have fun with it, I reckon. It could be good times. So this vault, I was kind of picturing almost a Gringotts-esque style entrance. Like they have, obviously not underground or stairs going down, but just that sort of classic bank entrance with big columns lining either wall, marble flooring, big stone bricks on the walls. That's kind of what I went for. That's what I'm doing here. And then, I don't know, I really like this sort of vault area here. So I've got a bunch of lights, and you'll see in a second. I spent a while trying to find, because I'm certain Get Famous came with cell walls, right? Because I use it in one of the sets. I just don't know where it is, even with the bug on. Anyway, I ended up using the Get to Work ones. So I used the Get to Work sort of cell walls, and then ended up using the vault door as well. So I think I changed it a little bit because I was seeing if there was another option. Because I didn't want to use... There is the cell door from Get to Work as well, but I don't think that works particularly well as an actual door. So anyway, I used the vault door and then used the cell walls there. So it's like a vaulted area. And then I end up doing these little side sections that have 2 vaults in them there. So like the 2 of the vault objects in those areas. And then I do one on the other side as well. So we have 4 vaults in total. Then at the back is just like just a storage area, which I put in that sort of like T-Rex gold skull thing at the back there. So it's just like a nice vault area. Obviously, you can add in whatever you wanted, add in as much money as you wanted into each of the vaults, and all that kind of stuff. So like I said, I made a few changes to the interior because the master bedroom... Look at this thing, though, please. Please, I hope you guys don't get ill by looking at this. So because I made the main bedroom, the master bedroom, have an ensuite, so I had to just copy the existing bathroom just so there's a second one for everyone else. I didn't really change it. It was the exact same thing. And then I moved some of the furniture around because obviously I added on the octagonal extension. So I sort of just moved the living room to fit that area. And then this little tower area, I didn't really do anything in it. I just put, access to it, stairs, doors, windows, that kind of stuff. So obviously you can do whatever you want with this space. It's pretty much free reign up there. And then this sort of little attic area, I just added in those sort of almost unfinished looking floorboards. Because if it's an attic, that's what it kind of felt like it would be. And then I use those really basic stairs as well that just track all the way down to the living space as well. I think so. I just put them right there, and then I create sort of... look at this interior, man. I just want to make it very clear I didn't build this interior. I did not design this. It's not mine. Obviously, I'm altering it, but I'm keeping true to the original build. When I was altering the interior, I'm keeping true to it. This hallway area I made a little bit bigger just because that's where the stairs sort of fit in, but obviously you could expand the bedrooms if you wanted. Obviously it would also make sense to put a bathroom in that area because there's so much space, but I just kept the bathroom where it was because like I said, keeping true to the original build. I was trying to do ivy on the walls, but you can see here when I put the walls down, they're all still visible, and I always find that really annoying if you put walls down and then like all the ivy is visible. It's just so annoying in gameplay, so I opted not to do that and instead just did bushes and shrubbery and trees and all that. So I was kind of just trying to cover up a lot of the terrain over here because it's unattractive, all these hills and that, but we can make them look better. We can disguise them, get some trees in. Also, all those bedrooms for the kids, they were like jail cells, essentially, is what they described them as on the stream. Jail cells, because there was no windows, and then they also had sliding glass doors. They still have sliding glass doors. I left those there, but I did add some windows in just because the back of the house looked a bit blank without them. So I added those in. And then obviously we got those skylights. Oh, I really like this little roof decoration with the sort of dog on it. So I just added it on top of this little section there. I thought it was a bit of fun. A little bit more detail to that side of the house. And then just a little bit more foliage. And then I think I furnished the deck area as well because I think I'd forgotten to do that. I originally went for the trash can barbecue because I thought that'd be fun, sort of fit in with the theme. Then I couldn't stomach it and I changed it and I... made it something different instead because just I couldn't live with myself having that there. So I wasn't gonna do a table, but then I was like, if I have a barbecue, we kind of have to have a table up here. Like this, you got to be able to sit up here after you've made your food, right? And then a couple of bins and the post box. But that is the renovation there. So here is the renovation in the game. I actually think the lot and the exterior, it's actually really cool. I had a lot of fun with this. And I think all the verticality of the terrain actually looks really interesting when it's decorated and designed up. But if we have a look closely, I've done a lot of work to make sure that there's not really floating plants. Like you can see, like even this area here, I've like leveled out where the plants are. There's some spots where they are floating a little bit, but that's exactly what I was talking about in that the plants, they're hard to work with on hills. Like this one here, the big jungle adventure one, sticks all the way out. So that's why I put other plants underneath it. So it sort of looked like it's all part of one thing. Yeah, that's the outside there. Obviously, these back bits are still like that, but keeping true to the original, I kept them in there, had a bit of fun. That's the entrance to the vault over that side. And then the interior, like I said, pretty much the same. I think I extended the wall on the bedroom because it didn't line up with the skylight otherwise, so I sort of extended that along one, and then I made the bathroom a bit smaller, added a second one, which is almost identical. I just had to move a couple of things, because one of them is now an ensuite, and one of them is the bathroom for these guys. And then a few of the interior things I just moved around a bit, just shuffled, just so I could fit in the hallway and the new extension. But the interior, believe me, I did not create. Then downstairs, like I said, is well, not like I said, like you saw, is the vault area. I don't know if you saw in the time lapse, but we have these. I put these jail cell walls in there because I was like, well, if this is a real thing, and you sort of just walked out here, you could sort of just drop down into that area. So I was like, you know what? I'll put a little jail cell thing there. I mean, I guess you could probably still climb around. But at the same time, it's also on someone's property underground. So, and it's The Sims. They're not going to do that. So whatever. That's also not going to happen. And yeah, also I did realize these were here. I'm sorry. I'll get rid of those. Yeah, so that's that. And that's pretty much the build. I mean, really everything to see is on the outside. I will show you. Oh yeah, the name of it, Lil Housey, Your Dunk. Basically, it's like you're drunk. But because they're drunk, they typoed drunk as anyway. That was a joke. That was a joke they made on the stream. Just to explain the title. I'm just going to show you the original one as well. No results found. Great, thanks, gallery. I would love to show you. Here we go. So this is the original. I'm going to place it in just so you guys can see it. Yes, place. So you can see how much of a difference the renovation made. Because obviously in the time lapse, it's sometimes look at this thing. In the time lapse, it's sometimes hard to see what it started off at. The big issue, and like I said, I was trying to keep true to the original build for the most part, but there was absolutely 0% chance I was going to keep these roofs in here. So that's why I removed all that. We redecorated the exterior. But like I said, interior, you can see pretty much the same. You can see all the same items are in there. I've just sort of moved it around a bit. But yeah, that was the original build, and I think the new one's better. So if you want to download it, the link is below, or you can go to my origin ID, which is The Sims. You know what, I can show you. I always talk about it. Why don't I just show you? The Sims for Life. That's my username right there. And then it will be, well, if you go to view catalog, if you search it, whatever, it'll be the latest one. Well, the latest one currently, but here it is. Right here. Original by SimGuru Steve. It's not. It's by, what's with the name? Watch the video when it comes out. Don't worry. Lil Housey, Your Dunk. You know, beautiful. Yeah, so there it is. Also linked down below if you want it. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to, if you're watching this when it comes out, to drop by the Guru Garage live stream. We'll be on twitch.tv/The Sims. Again, they have not asked me to talk about the stream at all. I just kind of want you guys to go there and tell them that there's a new option that they can use for their house. Anyway, it's at 6 a.m. Sydney time. It is 11 a.m. Pacific time. What else we got? 12 p.m. Mountain, 2 p.m. Eastern, London, 7 p.m. Anyway, that's enough promoting of the stream. Because here's the thing. If you watch this at any point after I'm talking about it right this second, it's not going to be relevant. Anyway, sorry for wasting your time. But thanks for watching, guys. I will see you next time, and have an awesome day.